God, why are my eyes so red?
Hey, what's going on, guys? All right, so today I wanted to cover something that I get asked quite a bit, and I want to point out that the way I'm going to answer this is going to be mostly based off of my own personal opinion and experiences and my own philosophies that I've used over the last several years to train myself and a couple of other people. And that question is why I've never lost my grip on a deadlift. So if you've been following me for a decent amount of time, you'll notice that I've never dropped a deadlift a day in my life. And I think there's a lot of things that go into that, and I'll cover that a little bit more in depth here in a second. But first and foremost, here is the most important tip, and that's coming up next. Hey guys, so I wanted to address a very common issue that a lot of people have when they're doing a max effort deadlift. So are you one of the ones that has lost your grip when doing a maximum effort deadlift at a meet or just in the gym or something like that? Well, here's the best way to fix that. There's a lot of different ways to build your grip strength whenever you deadlift, but today I'm going to share with you guys the most important one to do. So you're going to line up to the bar, and just like this, you're going to take your straps and you're going to get rid of them and don't ever use them again. That's it. That was my tip Tuesday. Okay, so I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings by saying any of that. And, you know, on a little bit more serious note, there is a little bit more that goes into it than just never using straps whenever you deadlift. Sure, you know, but me personally, backtracking a little bit, the first 4 years that I was ever deadlifting, starting at the age of 14, I didn't even know what straps were. You know, that was just kind of like a foreign concept to me. I think I would see people use them on videos and whatnot, not really even knowing what they were or what the purpose was for them. I always just knew that I was supposed to just grab the bar with my hands and then stand up with it, and that's just how I was taught to deadlift. And we didn't have straps at the school or anything like that. We were a high school. Nobody ever used straps for anything. And of course, the weights weren't very heavy back then, so we didn't really have a need to anyway. But that was a topic that was never even introduced to us. So I feel like that really kind of went a long way. So all the way through high school, you know, I never even owned a pair of straps. And I don't even think I bought one until I was like 18 or 19. And the only time I ever even used them was to do some assistance work, like shrugs. And that was like the main thing I did at the time. That was like one of the only few other exercises that I knew how to do to get better at deadlift was just to do some shrugs. And really, I just did them to get bigger traps. I didn't know they really had to carry it to deadlift at the time, but that's like a whole different thing. But yeah, so I bought the straps to do shrugs with because I was noticing it is a little bit hard to hold on to with both my hands like this. And I started working at a gym when I was 18 years old. And for about 2 years of having this job, I had this boss there. He was like a big old school powerlifter back in the day. He deadlifted in the high 800s. And he would always tell me, he'd be like, "Oh, only pussies use straps when they deadlift." And he would always just say funny little things like that. But he was like kind of serious about it. And I looked up to this guy. So, of course, you know, me looking up to him, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to make sure that I never use straps. Because if he knows that I did that, then he's going to think I'm a pussy. And I don't want him to think that about me. And that just kind of made me feel cooler if I just did it. And that just kind of reiterated the point in my mind again that you're just supposed to deadlift without straps. That, you know, that shouldn't be something that you do regularly. And, you know, I do want to mention that at this gym, we weren't allowed to have chalk, and the bars barely had any knurling on them. And, you know, my hands would get sweaty and stuff. So the bar was pretty hard to hold on to, but, you know, I managed to always be able to hold on to it for the most part. And, you know, and I feel like that also went a long way with developing my grip, as long as the first 4 years of my deadlifting career or whatever, never using straps. So basically, we're looking at almost 6 years here that I went without using straps for deadlifting. Now, there is a time and place to use straps, and I'm not going to say I never use them. I actually use them quite a bit, and I think they're a great tool for getting stronger. Now, I do want to point out the fact that I broke my elbow when I was like 12 years old, so my right arm has always had to be my overhand whenever I deadlift. I've never been able to rotate it all the way underneath like this. So you can only imagine what 6 years of gripping the bar like this will do to your back. Not that I was injured or anything, but I had some weird looking things. I even remember one time I went to go get a massage, and the massage therapist was like, "Your back looks weird. Like your trap over here looks like this, and this muscle over here looks like this." And you know, it was just something that I didn't even ever think about until it was pointed out to me. And then, you know, moving forward a little bit, I started to incorporate some bent over rows some heavier shrugs. And for these two things, you're pretty limited what you can hold on to with the double overhand grip. Especially doing like the rows and the shrugs and really picking it up and letting that weight lower and come back up, back and forth like that. It's going to wear out your hands, and you're not going to be able to do very much weight when you need to get more out of the movement. So that's why I would start using straps for that. And that's definitely a time that I think it's okay to use straps even to this day. And now let's introduce the hook grip. So I did start doing the hook grip whenever I was about 21 years old, I'll say. And, since then, I have been using straps maybe a little bit more, especially for, my higher rep sets, because pulling with a mixed grip just doesn't necessarily feel good anymore. And I really like to practice how I'm going to play. So I really like to maintain this double overhand position whenever I deadlift. So just for that, I do use straps a little bit more. However, warming up for my deadlifts, I do go all the way to the top, or as much as I can, with just a regular double overhand grip before I even do a hook grip. Or if I'm doing several reps, I will start to throw on some straps if I'm doing, anything over 500 pounds, 600 pounds for several reps, just so I don't have to be in this awkward mixed grip position. And, I think it just develops your back a little bit better. But, I do warm up as much as I can and do some holds and stuff with just regular double overhand grip just to build that grip strength. And that's something you can do every day. That's something you don't have to take extra time out to do. So definitely try that out. Other than shrugs and rows, I think the rest of your assistance exercises can be done without straps. Don't ever use straps to do pull-ups. Don't ever use straps to do a T-bar row or something with a stiff handle. And what I mean by like a stiff handle, I mean something that's not like a barbell. You know what I mean? So, because a barbell rolls and that's what makes it so hard to hold on to. But if you're doing something, like a T-bar row or like a lat pull down or a pull-up or just something with a handle that doesn't roll, you probably shouldn't ever use straps for that. And I think just doing that over and over, week after week, just going through all these extra movements, using straps as little as possible. That's what I'm trying to stress here is using straps as little as possible. I think that's going to just eliminate any grip issues that you do have. And I feel like that's something that I don't see a lot of people do. I always see people using straps, and it's the people that always use straps that are ones that always lose their grip. And it just kind of blows my mind because I know there's ways around this. Like, I know that they can fix this. And, I just don't ever see these steps being taken, and I feel like it's just such a simple thing to fix, but they're not doing it. So don't be that person. Don't be the person that loses your grip on the platform because you use straps in practice all the time. I see it happen way too often, and it is completely avoidable. It's not something that you have to worry about if you just take these steps and, just apply them to your training every single week. Okay, so now that I'm finished with that little rant, let me kind of just recap what I just said. Okay, so 1, deadlift as much as you can without straps. Simple as that. Do that every single week. 2, do most of your assistance exercises as much as you can and as heavy as you can without straps. Only use straps on those, heavier sets of rows or shrugs or whatever. Warm up your deadlifts, warm up your assistance exercises as much as you can without using straps. Hold the bar in place. That is going to build your grip more than anything. And a third thing that I kind of want to throw in there is that you should always do your top set deadlifts without straps. Particularly a 5 rep max or less. So if you're going for a 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1 rep max, you should not have to use straps. If you have to use straps to be able to hit the numbers that you're capable of hitting, I personally think that you should work on your grip a little bit. At the very least, you should do your 1 and 2 rep maxes without straps. At the very least. Me, I even like to go up to 5, but if you can at least do your 1 and 2 rep maxes without straps, I think your grip is fine. If the grip is a limiting factor there, then that's not good. But I think that taking these steps, like doing, warming up without straps as much as you can, doing your assistance stuff without straps, I think that will make it to the point to where you probably don't even have to do grip-specific exercises. And, if you don't have to take extra time out of your day to do more exercises at the gym when you're already there for 2 hours, that's great. Like, I think that is just phenomenal because I think that's really all you have to do to build your grip. So I'm not going to sit here and give you a list of all these extra little grip exercises that you can do if you feel like you need to outside of there. That's what you guys have YouTube for. Y'all can go, find a variety of great grip exercises that you don't need me to sit here and tell you, that you can go find by yourself. You have a world of information at your fingertips, just go find it. But that's just my recommendation on how I build grip strength and how I build my grip strength over time. That's why grip has never been an issue for me. So maybe try this out and see if it works for you. Thanks for watching.